Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, still dark outside. No use trying to look out the window. We'll look out the window probably later today. What's with my little jars here? Well, this morning, I've been up for a long time. This is not the first sip of coffee I had, by the way. But this morning I read my comments, and I got one from Jason, UK Jason, and he reminded me about saving these little jars. Well, I do have a lot of the 10 millimeter ones already. I think there's probably about, I'm seeing 7 over there. They're just behind the Gabe's figures. And but I was noticing I only had one 20 milliliter, and these 20 milliliters are kind of hard to come by. You know, I suppose some places maybe you can buy paint in 20 milliliter size, but I haven't actually seen them here in Winnipeg. Now maybe I just haven't looked. But these jars I bought way back when I was doing the Bismarck, and I thought it might be kind of nice for thinning paint, because you can put a whole 10 milliliter in and then add some, thinner to it. Oh, speaking of Mr. Color Leveling Thinner 400 here, I don't know if I'm going to use it today or not, because it's real good stuff. But it's I got to wear, when I'm spraying with it, I've got to wear my face mask and stuff like that, because the odor that it gives off is quite strong. And I can't open my windows right now. Well, I guess I could if I wanted to have my furnace running 24 hours a day. And anyway, so Jason reminded me about hanging on to these jars, and I remembered, when I was throwing the jars out yesterday, I did have some 10 milliliters. So I dug these out. There was 4 of them. I think I bought a total of 5 altogether, because there's only one up there on the shelf. So I dug these out of the garbage, cleaned them up. I actually put them in the ultrasonic cleaner to get as much of the guck out of the caps as I could, because they had paint in them for like 5 years almost, and they were pretty hard. But it was kind of fun to clean these up. Now I've got them. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and do half Mr. Color paint and half thinner. I think it's going to be okay to use the Tamiya X20A. I think it'll be all right. I don't think there should be any sort of compatibility problems going on, like it's going to congeal or something on me. Although maybe what I should do is just try a very small amount. Try a milliliter of the paint and a milliliter of the thinner, and just watch and see what it does. It could be that I should be using genuine Mr. Color products with Mr. Color products. But I don't think so. I think it should be okay. Okay, enough about the jars. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me, because I did think about it, but I may not have acted on it. So you spurred me on. You made me save my jars, because I had to pay for these. I think that these jars cost about the same with or without paint. Okay. Oh, Tennessee Gem, you'll notice I got all your cards up back on the wall. I didn't throw them out. Yeah, I appreciate those. I really appreciate those cards. Now, the walkers did come by yesterday. I mentioned I got up early this morning. Well, when I was having my first cup of coffee, I'm sitting there in front of the computer, and I'm thinking about this. I guess the walkers aren't coming anymore. And I thought, well, they must be coming by, because they made such a big point about coming every day. And I didn't see them yesterday either, and I didn't see them the day before. So I went to the time that they normally come, and ran it back a little bit ahead of that. and then I watched it in fast motion. I can watch it at 8 times speed, so it doesn't take too long to get through it. Well, they did come by, but about 20 minutes later than usual. So they're still walking. And if I think of it, I'll dub in a little quick blurb of yesterday's. And we'll see if we can catch them again today, because it's sort of part of our routine. It's part of like, hey, the walkers are going down the walking path. Everything is right with the world. You know, do you get that sort of feeling? Anyway, yeah, there won't be a nice sunrise to look at this morning, I don't think. No, it's pretty foggy out there. We'd see a little bit of redness going on. Now, as for today, I'm hoping that the weather's going to hold. Right now it's not snowing. They're not predicting any snow. And the reason being is I wanted to go to a concert tonight. It's a choir that my wife used to sing in, and I kind of go more for nostalgic reasons, I think, than anything else. And I like the music. So generally speaking, the one they have it twice a year. The one that they had in spring was super. I think it was the best one they ever had. So yeah, it kind of makes you kind of want to go. Okay, enough about the concert. We'll see what happens. But the problem is, last night, I was feeling tired, and I remember thinking, gee, if I feel like this tomorrow night, I'm not going to want to go. So I'm all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed first thing in the morning, but 4 or 5 in the afternoon, I'm sort of thinking about. In fact, I have fallen asleep when I've been proofing my own video. Now, mind you, I don't blame myself for sleeping through my videos. Okay, let's try and do something here today. I mean, make some progress. We're not really making any progress here. I think it's. We're getting to the place where I have to spray, and you know how I am about spraying. Let's not talk about it. Let's try and do it here. Maybe what we should do is find out what color we were supposed to use on this in the Mr. Color brand, that is, and thin it out 50-50. And maybe I will quickly do sort of an experiment off camera just to see if there's a compatibility issue between the Tamiya thinner and the Mr. Color paint. And then if there doesn't seem to be anything, I think I'll just take and mix up a whole large container of this lighter color, because we are going to probably be able to, we are going to need it. There's a lot of area, like there's a lot of pieces that are this size. In fact, you may as well say the entire inside of the sub that is not clear. Everything that is clear plastic, I'm planning to leave clear. Anyway, let's get at it here. Our walking friends did come trudging across the bridge in the dark earlier this morning, and pretty much at the regular time as well. So I guess we're back to normal. That's nice. U.S. I imagine by the end of the year I'll know how to spell that. And this is H338. Okay. Now here's what's happened. I didn't do a test. I just went ahead and I mixed up a large jar of the 338 from this one right here. Now, I probably will not be saving these jars, because what happens is when you try to get the label off of these, they don't peel off nice and easy like they do off the Tamiya jars. The Tamiya jars, you just soak them in warm water for a while, and the label just peels right off nicely. Whereas this, leaves sort of a gum that you have to use a solvent to get it off, and it's just more bother than it's worth. I'll save the Tamiya jars, but I likely won't be saving these. Nice little jar, though. Okay, so what I've got here is is one of these, and probably 1.5 of the Tamiya thinner. This stuff. Okay, so it's diluted down. I'm guessing you might say 40% paint, 60% thinner. I'm thinking that's what I've got going on here. The reason I diluted it like that is because when I took the lid off of this, I was noticing it seemed to be quite thick. At least that's what I thought, compared to the Tamiya paints. So, and I did notice that even after I shook it up for quite a while in my paint shaker before I poured this into here, there was still a little bit of residue on the bottom in the corners. It didn't quite get all of the pigment, you might say. And now then what I did was I poured the thinner into the jar, and I shook it again, and I think I got most of it. I don't think I lost any pigment, or very little anyway. Okay, so we've got 2 more jars like this left, and we've got this one. A lot of the parts call for the 338. This does. The torpedo tubes do. So we're going to probably be using a lot of it. If I have to get more, I hope I can find it here in Winnipeg. Anyway, okay, let's get our paint booth on the table here, and maybe try and spray these pieces and see how they look. The color is pretty much the same. I'm going to have the same problem again, you know. Oh, let's continue on here. What was I doing? I was just making a label here, wasn't I? So I'll cover up the Tamiya. Okay. There's my hobby knife here. Probably due for a new blade here pretty soon. Okay. It doesn't have to be pretty. Good thing, because it's not. Okay, here we go. Okay, if you remember a couple of days ago, I was saying that I had wanted to get the hull up here on the table, and I just wanted to see where this was going to actually go. Now, their torpedo is supposed to be able to be lowered through this hatch right here. That's what this is all about. So that must mean that this goes over here somehow. And if we check the manual, it says we are making the front torpedo tube compartment. That's what we're working on right now. I had thought that somehow this piece would clip onto or be glued onto the top here, but that's not what's happening here. What's happening is we are making about half a dozen individual modules that are going to be later placed into the hull after we get the end fastened on the end of the hull. And they will probably not too much of this that I'm touching right now we are actually going to see. It's going to be covered up by modules, but I'm thinking that in all likelihood maybe some of it will be seen. And I'm just wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea to just give the inside sort of a light coat, just to sort of cover it up a bit, so that any of this hull that is seen through. Oh, here, maybe I should show you here. If we get right near the end, you can see here where they want us to put the individual modules in. It looks like there's 5. Yeah, this one here goes together to become this one. So we, as near as I can tell, we are working on this one right here, front torpedo tube compartment. So this is what we're making, and it's going to pretty much cover up the everything you see here, as near as I can tell, anyway. And then this clear plastic part will go on the outside. This stern section it will be all clear as it is. I don't think we're going to be painting the other side of it. I don't know yet. I don't know. I think it's probably one of those optional things. You can either do it or not do it. One nice thing is that the ship is going to be in the same orientation as all the others are. In other words, it's going from left to right. Not that that matters a whole lot, but okay. So now I kind of know what we're doing here. I'm just maybe what I will do is, if you remember, I did wash the inside of this a few days ago, so it's all pretty clean. I think I'm just going to give this maybe just sort of a light dusting on the inside, and then when it comes to painting the outside with whatever colors they want, I can always mask this whole thing off so that whatever the outside color is doesn't go through the holes and mess up what I'm going to do here. Okay, but what we do need to do before we can be sticking stuff onto here, like there's a whole bunch of little parts that have to go on here that are going to be painted a darker color. We do have to paint this. This piece here, let's see, where is it here? This piece here, I'll bleep out the nonsense while I look for it. Okay, and back in step number 2, this piece here, where these little compartments are, this is sort of a dark brown if we check the painting and color guide. But the ends are the number 338. Okay, most of what the larger pieces are going to be 338. So I think I've said that about 6 times. I'm sort of hesitant in getting going here. I just don't want to make a mistake here and waste paint, or So we'll just get our spray booth dragged over here now, and yeah, I'm going to paint the inside. I'm going to paint the inside of this, the entire inside, just lightly, just sort of, you might call it a light dusting, just to take the plastic look off of it. And then of course this piece here, obviously we're going to have to paint this, but I'm just wondering how much of this is actually going to be seen, because it's going to be going in as a module. I would think that possibly some of it might, on the edge here, might be seen. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, talk is cheap. Okay, I'm noticing here that the torpedoes are also 338. So I guess I better psychologically prepare myself for the fact I'm going to be spraying a lot of stuff right now, 338, and get it over with. We can do the other 11 torpedoes, the 338, and then later paint the warhead the darker color later. Okay. Chicken in my pizza. I've had this primer since way back. I think it was before I even got the Bismarck. I was getting supplies. Got this at Cellar Dweller. I think this should be okay. I think it's an acrylic primer. I'm going to thin it out. Yeah, I kind of hate to use it. I don't think you can buy Model Master anymore. At least not under that name. Okay, here's what's happened. Just moments ago, my phone rings. Somebody wants to come over and have coffee with me around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So, I'm afraid if I get into the priming, I'm probably going to get myself all in a dither, I'll be all uptight and rushing and not enjoying it. So I'm going to have to put the spraying off until the next episode. Darn! Yeah. No, I'm kind of anxious to see how priming is going to work. I know people have suggested, prime your parts a different color. It's not that I didn't know about that. I just didn't want to be bothered. That's my problem. Anyway, we'll be bothered in the next episode. I might even. Oh no, I'm going out tonight. That's right. Or at least I think I am. It's not snowing out there, but I gotta get my car cleaned off and what have you. What do we got here? It's only minus 3.8 Celsius. That's not too bad, as long as it doesn't snow. Although it probably means that the streets are going to be a little bit mucky because they'll have salted the streets, and even though it's freezing, the streets will be sloppy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess we'll know in the next episode, won't we? Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.